The series kicks off with a party full of powerful businessmen. Min wants to strike a deal with Mr. Chin, but he hates her because she embarrassed him a few years ago. To humiliate her, he asks her to sit on his lap and pretend she's hitting on him. Jae-tyne sees Min on her husband's lap and throws champagne on her, accusing her of inappropriate behavior. As Min gets up, Jae-tyne tries to pour another glass on her, but Shin steps in and pours wine on Jae-tyne instead. Later, Shin helps Min clean up, but ends up hurting her with his words. Turns out, they were in love 5 years ago, but broke up when some ugly truth came out. Now, Shin thinks Min hasn't changed and will do anything for money, so he asks her to forget their past. Shin goes home, and Min calls Mr. Chin, accusing him of breaking their deal. He was the one who told her to sit on his lap to create an awkward situation, and now refuses to do business. Later, Min visits her son in the hospital. The boy has a heart condition and needs surgery, so she stays with him. She talks with the doctor, who is also a close friend, helping her with everything. Meanwhile, Shin asks his assistant to dig up information on Min to find out what's been going on in her life. Not long ago, she worked for another company, but got fired, and her recent activities are unknown. Now, she's impressing everyone with her ability to handle tough situations. The next morning, Shin goes to the hospital for a checkup because he had a heart transplant. In the restroom, he meets a boy who acts a lot like him. Moments later, a patient is rushed in, and Min, trying not to disturb the doctors, accidentally runs into Shin. She asks him to forget the past, but he's still mad and promises to make her pay for what she did to him. 5 years ago, Min goes to work and finds out they have a new manager, Shin. He ignores her project and says it will be cancelled. This is his first step in getting revenge. Desperate, Min begs him not to do it, but she gets suspended. A few days later, she tries to meet with Shin, but security keeps her away. The next morning, she spots him hiding in a cafe, trying to avoid meeting a girl he's having relationship problems with. Min asks for 10 minutes to explain her project and pitch her idea. Shin is still angry at her for pretending to be his high school friend 5 years ago. He didn't recognize her and mistook her for someone else, leading to their current conflicts with no resolution. Min visits her son in the hospital again. The boy, Kim, wants to know who his father is, but she doesn't know what to say and tries to avoid telling him the truth. Later, Shin sees Min and her son with a doctor, assuming the doctor is the boy's father. Back in the ward, Kim asks about his father again, which upsets Min. The next morning, she has to leave work suddenly to comfort her son in the hospital and promises him a gift after his heart surgery. Shin plays golf with Mr. Shin and listens to him say unpleasant words directed at the girl. A little later, Min returns to the office to talk to the manager, but he refuses to communicate with her and leaves without giving her 10 minutes to explain. A few minutes later, Shin gets caught in a traffic jam, and a girl on a motorcycle comes to his rescue, promising to get him there on time. As it turns out, Shin rushed to the hospital to meet one of the boys who has a heart condition. The girl promises to develop a project to treat the children and convinces him to let her bid, which brings a smile to Min's face. Mr. Chin continues to treat the girl with disdain and wants to do everything to make her lose her job and be humiliated. The next morning, Shin spots Min again in the company of her son and the doctor, despite the fact that they have not been together for 5 years. The man is jealous of her and decides to confront the doctor to provoke him into a conflict soon. Min appears in the office with her child, and their dialogue ends in another quarrel. As soon as Shin leaves, the girl hurries after him, as she does not want personal relationships to interfere with work. The man gets angry and asks if she feels guilty for humiliating him 5 years ago. A little later, there is a car accident on the road, and a cyclist falls in love with a girl at first sight, who offers him a ride to the hospital when Min tries to explain the essence of his project. Shin ignores her on purpose and then tries to provoke her, but the girl keeps calm and continues her performance as if nothing happened. Shin is constantly angry with the girl, but she has no time to think about it. She picks up her son from the hospital and goes to the nearest supermarket to buy groceries here. Ko and Shin meet each other again and play with toy guns. At one point, the boy reveals that he has undergone heart surgery, knowing that he had the exact same surgery. Shin tries to find out who the boy's father is, but he doesn't know the answer to that question himself, suspecting it's his son. Jae asks Ko for his date of birth, but Min interrupts their dialogue and hurriedly leaves the supermarket. The man pursues her to find out the truth, but she lies to him by giving him the wrong birth date for his son. A conflict ensues between the two, which is ended by a doctor who stands up for men. He understands why Shin is determined to find out the boy's birth date, but Men doesn't want to talk about it soon. She faces another challenge at work and asks Shin not to jump to conclusions because it's not the expert who chooses the person, but the successful project that finds the right expert. In the evening, Shin and Shin meet in a cafe and a strange dialogue takes place between them, causing more and more distrust in each other in the morning. Min follows the hospital director, assuming he is interfering with her project. At one point, the man puts his hand on her shoulder, but the girl masterfully lashes out at Shin and then apologizes for her rudeness, noticing that Men's shirt is torn. At this point, the man gives her his jacket. The next morning, the girl continues to follow the hospital director to a clothing store and hides in the fitting room where Shin was. She accidentally stains the shirt with lipstick, causing her to have to pay for it a little later. Shin agrees to help the girl and find out who excluded their company from the tender and why the couple assumes that the hospital director took a bribe, and at some point, a spark between them. They would like to brush each other, but quarrel to prevent this from happening. In the evening, co-workers gather for dinner to celebrate a successful deal. Min leaves because of stomach pains, and Shin follows her, continuing to remind her that he will not forgive her for cheating 5 years ago and will try to take revenge, which brings the girl to tears. She admits that she didn't want him to know that his high school friend was bereft because of the accident. Men waited for the right moment to tell everything, but due to heart problems, the man ended up in the hospital, struggling with the conflict. Min nearly passes out, and a co-worker helps her get home. The next morning, Min visits a bicyclist who was run over recently. He reveals that he had a sister who lost her life in an accident a few years ago, and it becomes clear that he is the brother of the late Swan. Min soon shows up at the office but returns to the hospital again because of her son. Shin goes to follow her to talk to the boy and apologize for the conflict in the doctor's office. After learning that no one wants to play with the boy, the man helps him make a drawing of a heart and attaches it to his harness as if Cole is Iron Man, making him special. The boy asks Shin to be his daddy, and this really puzzles the man. After dialoguing with the doctor, he goes in search of his son and finds him in the company of Shin, who has brought a fruit basket. The boy returns to the children's ward and becomes popular thanks to his belt and heart, making him Iron Man. The doctor takes a video and sends it to her mind to make her happy for her son back at the office. She thanks him for treating him well, and he decides to forgive her for the past and offers to sort out the problems at work. Shin's assistant notes that he and Cole look a lot alike, whereupon the man gives the boy an Iron Man helmet. A short while later, Min receives a call informing him that the boy has been injured and is back in the hospital. Shin offers to donate his thing to help Ko, but Min refuses, afraid that he'll realize it's his son. She doesn't want the man to take responsibility, which leads to another fight. Min returns home upset when suddenly someone rings the doorbell. It turns out that Shin came to replace her to play with her son, and the girl is shocked that they look alike and are even wearing the same t-shirt. The man realizes that Ko is his son and says he will live with them. Min has to agree as she doesn't want Shin to file a custody case and take her child away from her at night. She peeks into the bedroom and sees that Shin is nowhere to be found. Men rejoice, assuming he's gone, but it turns out that the man fell asleep in the next room with CEO's toys in. In the morning, the man asks Ko to call only him daddy, and Men accepts the situation. A little later, the girl sets a number of conditions for Shin to really be a good father and treat the boy well. The couple fights over bird food, but even that makes little Ko happy because he finally has both a mom and a dad. Min decides to take his son to daycare, but Shin doesn't allow him to do so. Noticing that she has put Ko in a motorcycle, a man takes care of the family and gives them a ride in his own car, after which the couple heads to the office while working. They notice that they have mixed up their laptops, and colleagues take notice of their strange reaction. A little later, the girl sneaks into Sin's office to swap laptops and gets angry when she sees him flipping through her photos. Upon returning home, the couple continues to clash, but the baby makes them make up and hold each other's hands. Men continue to care for Link even after he is released from the hospital. The guy feels sincere sympathy for her, but is afraid to admit his feelings so as not to scare the girl away early. Meanwhile, Shin spends time with Ko and promises him a day of fun together. The next morning, they go to the amusement rides and buy the boy clothes to be an exact replica of his father. Min doesn't quite like this, but she can't say anything to the man for fear he might take her son away in the evening. There is a conflict in the office as a co-worker says bad things about Men and her child is angry. Shin punches him in the face and the girl thanks him for his help in a difficult moment. A little later, the couple notices the suspicious co-worker and hides so she won't notice them. Around the next morning, the man's cell phone is hacked, and Min meets up with Link. The guy declares that he would like to spend more time with her, but the girl rejects him and won't let him confess to his feelings. Min informs his son that they will never ride in his father's car again, but soon Shin arrives and declares that everything will stay the same. A little later, the couple is photographed by a reporter who has been watching them get into the back seat. Link continues to look for a meeting with men, but they don't see each other as the girl enters a nearby elevator. The co-workers have seen a photo of Min and Shin together, so gossip starts in the office that they are having an affair. Min is angry about what's going on, as he didn't want their interactions outside the office to be publicized. The bosses also found out about the photo and called the couple to communicate, but they learned that it's a random shot, and it's really not what they think it is. In the meantime, Shin and Men continue to live together. There are minor conflicts between them, but they have to put up with each other for the sake of their son's happiness. In the evening, the couple reads a story to Ko and can't leave as he falls asleep with his arms around them. In the morning, Men and Shin wake up in their arms and feel extremely awkward about the situation. Soon, the doctor comes to Min's house to visit her and meets Shin in the girl's apartment. She has to tell Shin everything that has happened. During this time, the promise is to keep it secret. Soon, the doctor and Shin are fighting, trying to figure out which one of them is more ready for family life. Raising a boy has feelings for Men despite their friendship, so he comes home and stays to live with them. Shin is sure he has nothing to worry about, as the doctor is Men's best friend, and nothing else binds them together at work. Problems continue due to funding, so the company has to make a small deal in the evening. Min asks for some money from Shin to help her out in her time of need. Shin spends the weekend with Cole, but the doctor interferes with their communication. The man is annoyed that he knows his son better than him, which leads to another conflict. Meanwhile, Min attacks Link and hits him with a suitcase for misbehavior and lying. Min and Shin spend the next few days working hard and succeeding in celebrating. The doctor helps her get home when the girl can't stand on her feet, but Shin argues with him and takes her in his arms early in the morning. The girl remembers hugging Shin the night before and can't remember how the evening ended. She wonders if they enjoyed the time, much to her embarrassment. Shin, Men and their son have a great time, after which they return home and meet. The doctor inquires about the boy's well-being, but Shin rejects his help, stating that they don't need the doctor's services before the family returns home. He gives the girl shoes in an attempt to show his feelings, but she still only treats him as a friend. Trying not to give in, his rival Shin takes the girl to a shoe store and picks out several types of shoes for her. A little later, the mother takes her son to the kindergarten and learns that there is a party for children in the evening. It becomes known that Shin is away on business, but Min has no time to be upset because she is preparing a cake for her son and the upcoming party. The boy takes a picture of his mum at this moment and sends it to his father, informing him about the kindergarten party. The next morning, Shin's assistant goes to the supermarket with the boy, and the doctor discovers the burnt cupcakes and helps Men prepare something else. In the evening, the family goes to a children's party where Shin and Men look like a happy couple. 3 people are drawn on the cake, which pleases Ko, who decides to introduce his parents to his little friend. The doctor watches it all with envy, wishing he were in Shin's shoes, not wanting to interfere with their happiness. He leaves the box with the gift and goes home. The next morning, her friend finds out from Men how she's doing and envies her, as she is surrounded by a lot of men who are ready to become her husband. A while later, Shin goes to the hospital to have his heart condition checked. He is very nervous, so Min supports the man in a difficult moment. A little later, he overhears a conversation between the girl and the doctor and realizes that he is in love with her, but she can't love him. Considering the doctor a good friend, Shin asks her to leave her alone, but the doctor has no intention of giving up. Shin admits his feelings for Min despite past betrayals. He finds Min asleep in his hospital room and thanks her for staying with him. Reflecting on his friendship with Swan, Shin reveals she was the only person close to him, and he still misses her. Min is happy for her friend, who now has a good man in her life. The family goes out to dinner, where Shin gifts Min her favorite lipstick. A girl interested in the doctor is rejected as he dreams of being near Min. Min discovers documents indicating Shin filed for custody of their child, but later learns it was his sister. She tries to kick Shin out, but he calms her down, insisting he did nothing wrong. The toddler asks about his father, and Min says he's on a business trip. Shin, missing his family, sends gifts to his son, turning their apartment into a superhero lair. Min eventually allows her son to meet his father, but gets jealous seeing Shin with another girl at the office. Shin declares his wish to stay by Min's side, despite his sister's claims that no one can take her son away. Shin tells his sister he has no intention of marrying Min. He rejects advances from other women, thinking only of Min and company. He meets Min and agrees to see his son once a week. Shin asks to take Ko with him, but Min refuses, citing their meeting limit. Mother and son head to the beach, where Shin anticipates their visit and arrives early. Fate keeps bringing Shin and Min together. The doctor, noticing photos of Shin with Min and their son at the beach, feels sad but is consoled by a nurse who drags him to a movie theater. The nurse loves the doctor and hopes he will move on from Min. Back home, Min finds Shin playing with their son. She asks him to leave, but the boy protests. Shin puts Min to bed, but an early awakening by their son makes the situation awkward. The family attends a conference where Min's speech impresses the businessman, but disappoints Mr. Chin. Shin gives Min a dress for a party, where Mr. Chin's wife treats their child rudely. Janet tries to hurt Min by questioning the paternity of her child, leading Shin to declare the child is his, shocking everyone and impacting Min's work. Link confronts Min, accusing her of causing his sister Suan's death. Shin calms him, explaining the accident. A friend arrives, kicking the men out. Min and Link later meet at the spot of the accident, learning the full truth about the bus crash. Link apologizes for his accusations. Min offers to be a close friend, asking him to call her sister to avoid loneliness. The nurse advises the doctor to be sincere with Min. The next morning, Shin and Min meet again, but Min insists their relationship will never be the same. At home, Min learns from her son that Sugar has a girlfriend. The doctor denies it, claiming friendship with the nurse. Min tells the doctor that things aren't working out with Shin, making the doctor smile. Despite pulling away from each other, Shin continues visiting his son. Shin tries to pick up Cole and invites Min to join them, but she refuses. Link tries to apologize to Min's friend, leading to another argument. Min advises her friend to reconcile with Link. Link meets with Shin and Cole, seeking advice. Shin tries to win over Min by filling her office with flowers, but she's allergic to roses. He sends another gift, but Min distributes the flowers to co-workers. Frustrated, Shin meets Link at a bar, and they bond over their confusion about what the girls want. Shin tries to surprise Min with a funny costume, while Link shows persistence towards his friend, leading to an awkward situation with the guards. Shin participates in a speed swim, but falls ill. Min jumps into the water, comforting him. Shin stays home with his son, much to Min's surprise and frustration. Cole declares that his father will live with them, and Shin claims a damaged pipe at his house as an excuse to stay. An assistant confirms Shin's story via video, allowing him to stay. Min goes to her friend's apartment, while Shin prevents the doctor from visiting her. The next morning, Shin meets Min at work and tries to understand her whereabouts. A friend calms him, explaining Min stayed at her place. The nurse sends a message from the doctor's phone, asking Min to meet. She then asks Sugar on a date, and he agrees, starting to develop feelings for her. Min tries to shield Shin from interacting with Cole, but he continues to disguise himself to stay close. Shin and Cole disrupt Min's meeting with another man. The nurse helps the doctor rehearse his speech to confess his feelings to Min. The nurse, disappointed that Sugar loves someone else, is still willing to help him in hopes that he will eventually choose her. Sugar tells Min about his feelings, but at the same time admits that he is now in love with someone else, so Min wishes him happiness in his personal life. Link visits little Kim and spends time with him, considering the boy his nephew. In the evening, Min picks up her son and ignores Shin-Chi as he suddenly grasps his heart and claims that he felt sick. Min realizes that this is a play and provocation, so she does not react in any way to what happened. A little later, Shin-Chi tries to enter the apartment, but Min has changed the password. Kim opens the door to his father and gives him the candy, but he won't let Shin-Chi go inside as his mother is very angry and might kick them both out. The doctor finds the nurse and confesses his love, but the girl does not believe him, thinking it is said out of pity for her. Min tries to establish a relationship with another man, but Shin-Chi prevents it in every possible way. He claims that this man is not suitable for her, and Mr. Chin jokes at her, seeing Min in the company of a strange man. Hearing the insults against Min, Shin-Chi punches Mr. Chin in the face. Shin-Chi has come to tell Min that he wants another chance and a fresh start in the relationship, but Min is against it. Sugar keeps calling the nurse to apologize, but she ignores him. Mr. Chin finds out that his wife is cheating on him with his assistant, but she asks him not to divorce as it will ruin his image. Shin-Chi's health deteriorates again, resulting in his hospitalization. Upon hearing this, Min and Kim visit him and stay overnight to take care of Shin-Chi and provide whatever he needs. Soon, Shin-Chi is visited by his sister, causing Min and Kim to have to leave. Shin-Chi is discharged from the hospital, and Min allows him to stay with her as he needs care and attention. In the evening, Shin-Chi tries to hug Min and invites her to bed, but she ignores him and decides to spend the night in the living room. The next morning, Min meets Shin-Chi's sister, who asks her to take care of her brother because he is a weak and sick man despite a successful heart surgery. In the evening, Shin-Chi prepares a special gift by turning the ceiling into a night sky for Min to sit next to him. Min is torn between home and work and falls asleep in the car. Soon, she gets a call from the doctor asking for a meeting, which makes Shin-Chi jealous like a child. Meeting Min in the hospital, Shin-Chi attacks her because of the problems at work. Min has no intention of putting up with the rudeness and uses a painful hold against Mr. Chin and records the conflict, which will allow her to go to the police if he gets too close to her. Shin-Chi supports and comforts Min in her time of need. A little later, she reveals that 5 years ago, she worked for Mr. Chin's company. He wanted to use her, but Min rudely refused, after which she was dishonorably fired and accused of incompetence. After hearing the story, Shin-Chi promises never to leave Min again, which shocks her. In the evening, Shin-Chi goes to meet Mr. Chin and promises to destroy him if he ever touches Min again or tries to hurt her. The relationship between Shin-Chi and Min gets better, which makes little Kim happy because they become a normal and happy family again. A couple of days later, the boy gives his mother, Min, a gift in the form of a necklace, the money for which he asked her friend for. The doctor, Chin, keeps trying to make up with the nurse, Shin-Chi, but she ignores him and only pays attention after Sugar injures his leg going to a business meeting. Shin-Chi and Min hold each other's hands in the elevator and then negotiate. Mr. Chin tried to patch things up with his wife, but to no avail as she loves the dog much more than her husband. The doctor and the nurse spend time in the library and forget old grudges. Min needs to sell a house to get the money, but she is reluctant to do so as the house holds her memories. Chin proposes to Min's friend to become his wife, and she, after hesitating for a while, agrees. A short while later, Min begins to introduce Shin-Chi as her man, which causes him to rejoice. After getting drunk, the doctor again confesses his love to the nurse, after which he faints. Min and her friend realize that the girl's conversations are being overheard by one of the investors. In an attempt to confuse him, the girls use a listening device and tell lies. Sugar again confesses his feelings for the nurse, but this time he gives her a bouquet of roses and offers to be his wife. Shin-Chi uses the wiretap to criticize Min and try to buy a rival company, but fails, realizing it was a provocation. The next morning, the girl resigned and has another fight with Mr. Chin. In the evening, she decides to say goodbye to her ancestral home and discovers that it was bought by Shin-Chi in order to keep the native dwelling full of pleasant memories. A little later, the couple goes on a date, destroying various things to get rid of their anger and visiting a movie theater. Shin-Chi blackmails his mistress and offers her money to pay her off. But this leads to a quarrel and threats. Shin-Chi apologizes to Min and asks her to return to work on the project, promising not to hinder her progress. Mr. Chin's mistress and assistant search Shin-Chi's room, but he returns in time and exposes her. In the evening, Chin tries to get Min into the car against her will, but Shin-Chi prevents it and saves the girl he loves. A little later, her friend calls and asks for help as a drunken man tries to get into bed. She is afraid to call the police, so Min personally deals with the man by publicly humiliating him in front of her co-workers. Later, they do go to the police and tell them what happened so that the man can be followed and arrested. The office changes the rules of conduct for employees, which makes Mr. Chin nervous. He realizes that he is losing control and important decisions are being made without his input, which leads to another conflict with Min. Shin-Chi learns that he has heart problems again, but decides not to tell the girl about it as there was an unsuccessful assassination attempt on her, wounding Min in the leg. The couple is hurriedly sent to the hospital, where the girl's treatment is handled by Sugar, who has started a relationship with a nurse. A short while later, Min is discharged from the hospital and learns that a friend has a record of Mr. Chin's harassment. Eventually, they manage to expose the businessman who is arrested by the police. He is charged with indecent behavior towards women, as well as bribery and corruption. Shin-Chi decides to buy Chin's company and arranges it with his wife. Soon he proposes to Min to become his wife so that they can finally live as a complete family. Before he can finish his speech, Shin-Chi drops his rings and passes out. He feels ill, and Min takes the man to the hospital, after which she learns that Shin-Chi is going to undergo major surgery. She cries and worries without leaving the hospital, hoping the man will survive. A short while later, a successfully operated Shin-Chi proposes to Min again. The couple spends the evening with their son, and the next morning, Shin-Chi leaves for a month-long business trip. When he returns home, he prepares a surprise for Min, after which the couple becomes husband and wife. Chin catches the bouquet, promising Min's friend a wedding soon. The couple goes on a wedding trip, and 2 years later, they have a wonderful daughter. The moral lesson of this story is multifaceted, focusing on themes such as love, forgiveness, resilience, and the importance of family. At its core, the narrative underscores the importance of forgiveness in overcoming past grievances. Min and Shin both carry deep-seated anger and hurt from their previous relationship, but as they navigate their present challenges, they learn that forgiving each other is essential for healing and moving forward. Forgiveness allows them to address their unresolved feelings and rebuild their trust. The story also showcases the power of resilience through Min's determination to support her son despite numerous setbacks. Her unwavering commitment to her child's well-being, even in the face of professional and personal obstacles, illustrates that perseverance can help overcome even the toughest situations. Min's journey demonstrates that resilience is crucial in tackling life's challenges and achieving one's goals. Communication and understanding play a pivotal role in the narrative. Misunderstandings and lack of communication often lead to conflicts, as seen with Shin's initial anger towards Min, based on a misinterpretation of her actions. As they begin to communicate openly and honestly, they start to understand each other's perspectives better, which helps in resolving their differences. The story teaches that effective communication is vital in maintaining healthy relationships. Finally, the story highlights the importance of family, particularly through the evolving dynamics between Min, Shin, and their son. Despite their tumultuous past and present conflicts, Min and Shin ultimately come together for the sake of their child, demonstrating that the well-being of family members can be a powerful motivator for reconciliation and cooperation. Their journey shows that the bonds of family, when nurtured with love and care, can overcome even the most significant obstacles, leading to a harmonious and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the thrilling and mysterious event story. Your support means the world to us, and we're excited to continue bringing you captivating stories. If you have any suggestions or ideas for future videos, we'd love to hear from you. Whether it's more spine-chilling horror stories, intriguing mysteries, or even heartwarming tales, your input is invaluable. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Your feedback helps us create even better stories for you to enjoy. Stay tuned for the next episode, and thank you again for being part of our community. See you soon.